Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to tell you guys all about my rehab slash therapy that I went through. And on top of that, I'm going to tell all you guys about the things that you should not be afraid of. Because a lot of people are afraid of the word therapy, and a lot of people are even more afraid to admit that they're going to it. So, if you guys are cool with a little bit more sensitive side of the video today, come with me. We're going to explain how to identify a problem, what my problem was, and then basically what to do with all of that. So, if you're tired of people telling you you act a certain way, you're tired of yourself acting a certain way, tired of looking at yourself in the mirror the same way, well then, my friends, this video is for you, and all I have to say to that, let's fucking go. Hey everybody, so the absolute first thing, whether it's going to rehab or deciding to go to rehab or just try to figure out what you need to do in general, you need to figure out this. You need to figure out what the problem is. You need to understand what the problem is, guys. The first thing is very simple. You really need to analyze this and you need to ask yourself, well, is it me or is it everybody else around me? If you can't really quite, answer that question, you have to look at things. You have to be proactive and you have to say, well, how am I acting? Because obviously, if I walk in through my apartment, right, and I'm in a good mood, and then I see that my roommate is clearly not having a good day, but then I just get my gym stuff together and then walk out, obviously he's gonna probably label me as a dickhead because A, I saw that my friend slash roommate was not in a good mood. Number 2, I brought the energy into the apartment. But number 3, more importantly, I was being selfish and I didn't even ask him. I didn't even take the time to stop for a minute. Even when I was packing up my stuff, I didn't even stop to ask. First thing, is it you or somebody else? As well as, how are you acting? It's not just how you're acting, how you talk. I know with my personal self, sometimes I come off aggressive, sometimes I come off as a dominant, and sometimes what's up in here doesn't necessarily come out with that. You need to understand 2 things. First thing, how you're acting. Second thing, how you're talking. Once you establish those 2 things, we can move on to the next thing. So, let's do it. Now guys, so along with noticing what's going on with other people, you also have to realize what you're doing with yourself. You gotta understand your daily routine and everything. And necessarily what I mean by daily routine is this. So obviously with your daily routine, if all you're doing is sitting on the couch and you're just not acknowledging anybody's existence, and even when people are telling you stuff, you're just kind of shrugging it off like, oh, who gives a fuck, basically. And that's definitely something that anybody is going to judge you on. Whether or not people are judgmental in your life, this is one of the very few things that somebody will end up judging you on. So, if your lifestyle is not like that and you're extremely proactive, you are somebody that is always on the go, but you take the time, even though you know you're busy, you take the time to understand and talk to people, even when you know that you're in a rush. That is what is going to stand out between somebody that is proactive and somebody that isn't. Yo, if you've already established whether you or somebody else is the problem, or if you guys have found a mutual agreement in working on something, then that's perfect. But right now, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit of what exactly I went through. If you really want to know. What exactly I went through was overthinking, anxiety, and depression. 3 things that kind of go hand in hand together, as well as not exactly going hand in hand together. How did I overthink? I would overthink so many different situations. I would overthink bills, I would overthink money, I would overthink conversations, I would overthink myself. And it's funny because as soon as I started to do that, I would notice that my confidence and self-esteem would go from being all the way up here to slowly but surely diminishing. And we're humans. We tend to really try to work hard on things, and confidence is always something that everybody's trying to work on. And when your confidence is at an all-time high, that's, your confidence is at an all-time high and you've been working at that for so many different freaking years and everything, and you just don't know what the hell is happening. So pretty much my confidence went from here to here, and I was like, what the fuck, basically. That is when I decided to be like, you know what, everything in my life kind of sucks right now. You know, not only does everything in my life suck, but at least that's what I thought. I thought everything in my life sucked. I was just kind of ready for everything to leave, and I went about a month and a half, almost 2 months of really just not knowing what to do, just kind of living in a fake fear of literally fake fear. And once I snapped out of it, it was really nice, you know. The last time I actually went to therapy was because of thunderstorms, as funny as that may sound. Went to therapy because of thunderstorms and everything. You know, years later I'm going back because of an actual problem in my head. Never thought I would have that. But that's the thing about life. We don't know what we have until we have it. So I decided to go to therapy, and at first, because it was definitely a different therapist, you're trying to get a feel for each other and everything. And I'm not saying that every therapist is for everybody, because it's certainly not at all the case in any way, shape, or form. Sometimes it could take you a few therapists until you find the right one, or maybe you just get lucky and you find the right one the first time, and if that's the case, great for you. But a lot of other people suffer from not getting that first person, and once they don't get that first person, they kind of just quit after that. And I'm here to tell you, first and foremost, don't do that, because once you do that, everything that you're currently feeling, you're gonna feel even worse. And I can only imagine, you know, how you're gonna feel if you do that. So bro, don't do that to yourself. You're smarter than that, you're better than that, and guess what? You're sexier than that. So take all those and get your little butt over to therapy if you need it, because guess what? Your boy did it. I know other people that do it, and I can tell you right now, friends, you don't need to be going through anxiety, overthinking, or depression to go to therapy. If you miss somebody, if a relative died, you know, if you're going through PTSD, anything that has to do with a concern in your life, whether it be major or small, you can go to therapy. And no, very last part, you do not have to go in like those group talk session things. You don't have to do that in any way, shape, or form. One-on-one, quiet for an hour, boom, in and out. It's like it never happened. That is why I'm here to share my advice with you guys. So if you guys want to do that, I'm going to put a few links down in the description below to some of the best people that I've personally seen and known. We're going to move on to the next topic. If that's cool with you guys, zoom into my face and subscribe. Alrighty, so the third and final part to this video is as simple as this. What to do after all of this. Acknowledge this. Acknowledge the fact that you want help. Acknowledge with yourself, one-on-one, that you openly want help, because that is going to be the #1 deciding factor. Anybody can recommend therapy. It's not for everybody. It's for some people, but not for everybody. In order to go there, you need to accept it with yourself first. Notice how I said yourself first. If you don't accept it with yourself first, then don't go. #2, you want to create a plan. Therapy is going to be the initiation part, but you're going to be able to talk about a bunch of different things in therapy. And you know what? You might be able to even come up with a plan in therapy. Here's what I mean exactly by plan and good old therapy. So, creating planned therapy would be, with me, I noticed that I was dealing with a lot of different things at once: school, relationships, and finances. The reason that I didn't act upon anything was because it was all scattered in my head, and I didn't know how to execute just one thing at a time because I was overwhelmed and I was overthinking about it. I did a calendar method, alright? Picture a nice little white dry erase board, alright? And basically, like, the dry erase board would be right there, and then you would have, like, lay it out. You could put, like, the month, and then, like, Monday through Friday if you want to have weekends off, you know? Really write down the main things to get done for those days, and then on a separate sheet of paper or a journal, mark down specifically the smaller things that you want to get done in the day. So here's a perfect example. You lay out a calendar Monday through Friday, alright? Monday, you have a discussion post due. Okay. Tuesday, you want to film a video. Wednesday, the second half of your assignment that was due Monday, the whole thing's due on Wednesday. So the first half is due Monday, second half is due on Wednesday. Thursday, you want to shoot another video, and then Friday, you might not necessarily, you don't know what you want to do. So, if you realize out of that entire week, you'll notice that the very beginning of your week is going to be the most stressful for you. Now, keep in mind, you only have those set things that you want to accomplish for the day. Here's the thing, bro. We both know your ass has a lot more to do than just that. I work, I talk to a bunch of people, I go to the gym, I film videos, I do homework. You get the point. When I write down on Monday, first half of the discussion post, do. What will I do? I will immediately, so I'll go to work. After work, I'll go to the gym. After the gym, I will do the discussion post because that tends to be smaller. And then I will start the process to my video that is the next day so I can just finish it the next day. Guys, you really want to have self-discipline, and therapy is what helps that. If you guys are lacking in the self-discipline department, I promise you therapy will help you with that, because therapists are legally licensed to help you with your head and to help you figure out the best solution that will work for you. I'm not saying that the calendar method will work for you. I used to write things on my phone in my notes category because I wasn't able to, always go somewhere and look at a piece of paper all the time. That wasn't my case, and I was on my phone more than anything, so I was actually smart and I put it on my phone. But then I moved. What was working for me at one place wasn't working for me at a new place, and so instead of, being the bigger person and trying to figure out what's going on, I let it attack me. And that's when I went to therapy. And now it's kind of funny, I don't write things down in my phone. I write it on a calendar, or I write it down on a piece of paper, like I just said. Write your main ideas for the week on a calendar. Write your smaller things to get done on a piece of paper just for that day. And I guarantee you, you will not be nearly as overwhelmed. And also keep in mind, guys, too, this is not an overnight process. The only way it can become an overnight process, just like confidence, is if you work at it. So make sure you 100% work at it. And the second part of that is make sure you actually dedicate to it. Because a lot of people will just put in the work the first few weeks, and if they don't see it working, especially within the second week, they're gonna give up. And if you look at statistics, it takes about, 20-something days, almost a month, to get into a new routine. So if there's already about 4 weeks in a month, okay, you want to be lazy? Good, you don't have to do all 4. You can just do 2. Do 2 weeks. Just do 2 weeks and go hard at it. Literally change your life, guys. Change your life, change your mind, change your body. That's all we're doing here. And the last 2 things I want to talk to you guys. You gotta understand, it takes time. And I don't want you guys to be afraid that you're gonna fail, because if you guys are actually afraid to fail, well then you're just gonna have that being the underlying paying attention to thing. That's gonna become your main subject, is, worrying about failing, and that's exactly the opposite point of this video. We want to be risk takers. If you're a subscriber, which you should be, if you're not a subscriber, I don't know why you're not a subscriber, but you better be a subscriber now. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you know what it means to be dedicated, you know what it means to be hardworking, and you know what it means to be passionate, as well as chasing a dream. Out of all those things I just mentioned, the dedication, hard work, and passion is what I'm talking about. Don't give up. You give up on yourself, you give up around everybody around you. That's going to take a harder toll on you than anything you ever thought. I can guarantee that, because there's sometimes people in your life will tell you certain things and they'll trigger you certain ways. And if you look up to certain people, like role models, or yeah, if you look up to certain people as role models and stuff like that, and those role models start to, you know, they start to give up on themselves and everything, that can hit you in a very different way than you ever thought possible. It's kind of what happened to me. I know this was a little bit different. I know I didn't really kind of branch out when it came to like moving the camera and everything. I didn't really want this to be like I don't know. I didn't want it to be like a flashy like type video. I don't really know the words to describe it. I wanted it to be more of, I just kind of sit down in front of the camera, talk to you guys straight up about therapy. I know there's a lot of people that try to do a lot of bad things to themselves because they're so depressed. I know a lot of people that do a lot of different things that I don't personally agree with, but if there is one thing that I do try to do is I try to make these videos for the people that are going through something. I try to make these videos for the people that are afraid to, you know, post something on their story because they're afraid to be judged by people. I do this for the people that are going through it the hardest, because I may not be in the same shoes as you, but I guarantee you I've gone through something just kind of like that. If I can shine a little bit of light in your day because I'm just giving advice that worked for me and you find a way to incorporate it to your life, and that's all that matters to me at the end of the day. By all means, if you guys have stories about therapy, if you guys have stories about, you know, some crazy ass obstacles that you have encountered and you've overcome, it doesn't have to all be mental issues, guys. You know, literally anything in your life that you've had to, you know, overcome, whether it be fear of talking to a girl, whether it be it took you X amount of weeks, you know, to finally do a certain set at the gym, you know, whatever it is, literally tell me about it because it motivates the fuck out of me. I love motivating the fuck out of you guys, but I also like it back, baby. You know how we do. This is WarTimeTV. We are inspired to be fucking better. But in all seriousness, guys, that was my 4 steps on basically how to get into therapy as well as how to get out of therapy. Pick and choose what you guys like and everything. Again, let me know in the comments below what you guys have been going through, what you're currently going through, what you have gone through. If you know somebody that is going through something and all that stuff, write it in the fucking comments. Engage with your boy. I want to fucking know what you're going through, man. I'm telling you me, tell me you. Let's brotherhood this shit up, man. I like it. Alrighty, guys. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, everybody. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know, like I said at the very beginning, a little bit more of a serious topic this time around, but I can promise you that the next few videos are gonna be fucking lit. I can 110% guarantee you that. The next videos are actually gonna be pretty action-packed as well, so make sure you tune in for that. And as always, like I said, I'm going to link a few good therapists that I know. Some happen to be in the New England area. I'm gonna put a few different therapists that are spread throughout the country, that no matter where you are, hopefully you're by one of these people. I'm gonna link that in the description below. If you guys know anybody that's currently going through something, again, doesn't have to be mentally, it could be anything at all, make sure you write about them in the comments. Tag them, guys. Tag me. Give me your personal stories. You know, I'm over here. I have no problem being that guy for you guys that is going to be open on camera and everything. I have absolutely no problem doing that for you guys. You guys know that. I love you guys. You guys are my comedians. You stick with the brother. Hell yeah. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys next time. I love you all, and